Hey there guys, welcome back to Hursty Games and welcome back to the QPR Career Mode. If you're not all caught up, go check out the playlist, get yourself caught up, and then of course welcome to today's episode. Today, just powering on through, we are in January. The January transfer window is here and signings are to be made. Now, I asked in the last video if there were any players in particular you guys thought would be the best players to maybe look at picking up. And there wasn't too much sort of in the way of, yes, definitely go for this person or maybe look at this person instead. So we still have the transfer hub and the list of players that we are considering here and people to maybe look at. Now, I mentioned in the last episode some players that, you know, I'm thinking about, players that maybe won't be for this season but could maybe be for next. Thomas was one of the players that was sort of that middle ground of we could look to pick him up now and maybe progress him forward. And he would sort of be in immediate competition with Kenneth Powell. Or we could look at going for somebody like Small or Gent, I'm probably saying it wrong either way, and have them sort of be somebody we bring through and eventually look to compete with Powell. Now, a big thing for me, Small would be my first choice. I think he looks really, really good, real good like prospect. He's a real attacking player as well for Charlton. I think he's a real good little left back. But he is like the same price as Thomas is. Obviously 3 years younger, 3 rating lower as well. So isn't going to be a cheap option for us. He would be quite expensive. But I think it would be a really interesting signing either one of those, in all honesty. So I'm kind of on board with both. I'm really down for either of them. The main thing is Small's wages are going to be a lot less than Thomas's. Thomas's are going to be quite spenny. He's not on little wages. He's on 26 grand a week, which is obviously a lot more than a lot of our players are. We also had Egan Riley as an option, who again is on 22.5 grand a week. So again, not on low wages by any stretch of the imagination. Has the versatility of right back or centre back. Small kind of tick both with the left back and left mid as having not much versatility in either. And Thomas comes in just straight up as a left back. We were also looking at Vega. Could be awesome for maybe down the line. Obviously very tall, can play CDM, centre back and left back. So 3 positions, 3 bits of coverage could be really, really nice as well. We were looking at Timur Bonham, who again could be an awesome pickup, and bringing him back to QPR. He was really, really good for us on that loan when he was at Villa, came to us on loan, and he was a phenomenal little player. We did have the suggestion of Poku, who I think down the line could be a really, really good bring in. I think him or SA could be great to bring in if we sold Anderson. So we're kind of waiting a little bit just to see if anything happens there with any potential sales. Brooks is kind of the same vibe. I really like Brooks in real life. I think he's a great little player. Branca, I'd like to see a bit more of, but again, another player that could be really good for this. And then a little bit of options for down the line at striker. Now, Huerta was suggested as a free agent pool. I do think it's a touch outside on like the unrealistic side. He's 76 rated. He's worth 10 mil. I don't think he'd come to little old Championship QPR right here, right now. I think the only sort of teams he'd maybe join Championship-wise are the teams that have just come down. Some of the bigger clubs, you know, looking like a Leeds, you know, looking at like a Sheffield United. Some of the clubs that are very recently have been in the Prem is sort of my thought, my vibe here. So I'm going to hold fire just a little bit. We're going to wait and see what money we potentially get in for any players. No offers received as of yet. I haven't listed anyone, so obviously no one's sort of come in for people in that sense. But we do currently have just shy of £3 million sat in the club, so 2.7 mil. So realistically, looking at the players we were looking at, we can make a signing. We can pick up one player because, in all honesty, it's going to be a matter of like, whoever we bring in will be pretty much all of our money. So unless we make a sale and we can be really like stingy with some offers and pick up 2 bargains, one sale is all one purchase, is all we're really going to be able to feasibly do. So that's the vibe. That's where I'm at. We're going to power on through. Our first game of the episode today is this game right here, which is up against Watford. I'll get the team ready and then we'll go into it. Okay, so jumping into the first game of the episode, you can see a couple of changes. Morrison in for Clark Salter because he and Dunn and Fox were all pretty tired. And then Rayan Coley coming in for a tired Sato. A little bit of change on the bench. So Benny coming on for Smith, again, just for tired legs. And I believe Jimmy Dunn was slightly more fit than Clark Salter, so he keeps his place on the bench. Ashby was also quite tired, so Ashby is unlikely to come on, but I wanted to keep him on there for versatility of left or right back being covered. But yeah, we're just going to power into the first game of the episode at home, obviously at Loftus Road. Will be good, hopefully, to come away with a win. Watford have been a real stinker side for us to play against in the last couple of seasons. We had that really big win during lockdown. I remember Albert Adoma with that finish. But in recent history, I don't have particularly fond memories of playing against Watford unless I'm missing a game in my head, which is obviously a decent chance of that. But hopefully we can come away with 3 important points here. It'll be nice to come away with keeping up some winning ways. Obviously, we had a bit of a blip in the last episode, but hopefully this can be a positive January, both on and off the pitch. Getting some good players in, maybe getting a little bit of cash in for some players that are maybe surplus to requirements now. But let's find out. Come on, you Ars. Watford bringing the ball forward quite confidently, quite calmly, in all honesty. They're not playing it quickly. They're just playing it slowly but surely, working their way through the lines here. Santos steps in really well, though. Really good tackle from him. And it gives Dembele a chance to maybe break away here. Ilias Chair and Seller ahead of him. I'm going to play it forward into Seller. Seller, good first touch. Takes it past his man. He's going to strike it on his left. That's a really good save from Bachmann. It needed to be as well. And he's got down to that one really, really well. It was a good height for the keeper. It's one of those, you know, it's not in the bottom corner. It's not at the top. It's sort of in that middle range. So it's a really, really good save, but one you'd expect the keeper to make. Close post there. Bachmann's going to collect it from the Watford header. But a positive start, I'd say. Positive start. Good tackle there from Dembele. Not really the kind of thing you expect Dembele to be doing, is picking up tackles in that sort of part of the pitch. But he's done really well there. It's a shame we couldn't make more from that attack, because that had a real good bit of promise. A good 2-3 players against 2-3 players. So it was a nice even chance for us to break into something. Ball over the top here. And Kenneth Powell has been wrong-sided by Ince. Into Bayo here. Bayo with the strike. Oof, Nardi, I think maybe had it covered, I should say. But it was just wide of the post, thankfully for us. But it's a decent strike there from Bayo. Couldn't quite get to him, but it is wide. We're okay. Ryan Coley going to play it here to Kenneth Powell. Kenneth Powell with a chance to play it back over the top here to Coley. It's a really good pass and a really good run. Coley does pick it up here. Brings it quite central. Ryan Coley, it's another great save from Bachmann. This has been a real good performance from him so far this first half, because we have had a good couple of chances to maybe pull away and get a nice early lead. But he's done really well to stop 2 pretty, I would almost say, surefire chances. But we're going to whip this corner in here. Kenneth Powell. It's a good corner. It's Seller. It's just over the bar. This is some good consistent threat towards the Watford goal here. We just need to keep this up, but we need to make the most of these chances. We've got to find the back of the net sooner rather than later, because it would be a real shame if the first 30 minutes we are dominant and then we let them get something from it. It would just be classic us, wouldn't it? Madsen, that's a great tackle high up the pitch, and he's going to find Seller, who is onside, and that's the opening goal. That's the breakthrough we needed. Seller back on form and back on the score sheet. It's 1-0 to QPR just after that half-hour mark, and it's an important goal because, again, this first half we've been pretty good. That's a great tackle there from Madsen. Really, really good stuff. Nice and high up the pitch. Good press. You guys would have seen in a couple of the highlights that, as I said, Watford have been really calm on the ball. They're just taking their time playing it through the lines, and as soon as we sort of close them down, they just find that next pass. Not in that situation. Madsen's closed him down so quickly. Won that ball nice and high at the pitch. And that is 1-0. Lovely stuff. Seller's on fire. 17 or 16? Hopefully 17 by the end of the game. That would be quite nice. But 16 goals for Seller so far. And it's 1-0 to QPR. Again, Madsen in really, really well there. I absolutely love Madsen. And the thing I find difficult is Field, Madsen and Varane. Hold on a second. Ilias Chair. It was audacious, but I thought I'd give it a go. But Phil, Madsen and Varane all feel really nice in game. I'd love to find a way that I could play all 3, but then I lose one of the attacking trio. And I find it important having a good amount of attackers on the pitch. So having 2 wide players, having that creative attack in mid, it's sort of how QPR like to play. We're infamous for having a number 10. And I don't really feel like I should lose that number sort of 10 role. Good tackle there from Dembele. But yeah, I do miss having the trio, having Varane, having Madsen, having Field, because I think they'd all work really, really well. But Dembele here from range is a good effort. It was a bit of a simple one, straight at Bachmann, that one there. Easy save for him. But, mate, we're going into half-time, surely any second now. And I'm feeling positive from that first half performance. It's only 1-0. It could have been a lot more. I've been getting a little bit audacious coming to the end of that first half and having some long-range pot shots. But when you're playing as well as we have been, you kind of can justify it a little bit. You can just go for those chances a little bit more. So we'll see if we can keep that up for the second half here. Dembele a little bit tired, as is Coley, but I'm going to give Coley the 90 today. Just going to let him go out there and do his thing. I'd like to see Benny come on at some point, but you can see some of the fitness levels of the substitutes. I think maybe I need to look at those work rates just a little bit, kind of work out a slightly sweeter spot and keeping the first team players more consistently fit, I guess, because the rotation is proven to be a problem. Until we get a few more players into a similar level, I think rotation could prove to be a bit of a problem. But second half, hopefully more of the same. Don't want to let them in, especially early on in the second half. Give them anything to sort of fight for or hold on to. A second goal for us would be lovely, but we've got to be careful here. Bayo with a chance, Nardi with a good save, and Kenneth Powell gets it away. Hopefully we can calm this down a little bit and just find our feet again in the second half. Come on, you Oz. Oh, good work there from Loser, and it's a really nice pass through as well, actually. Got to be careful here to not giving away anything silly. Bayo turns his man. Good save there from Nardi. Had to get down to it pretty quick. He did so, and he gets the corner for Watford. 2 changes here for us. Varane and Benny coming on for Madsen and Dembele. Both are mainly just fitness changes. Again, I want to keep Varane happy as well. I know that he's sort of, out of the 3, he's the one who gets slightly less minutes. Madsen and Field is sort of the starting duo if everyone is fully fit. So Varane does kind of miss out a little bit, kind of ends up being rotation games or substitute appearances. So I do want to keep him coming on the pitch and happy with his amount of football, because I don't want to lose him. I do like Varane. Like I say, I think he plays really well for us in this system and in this team here. But a chance maybe to try and build on something here. Chair runs into the defence. He's kind of surrounded by yellow shirts there. But we've got to just be careful, because Watford are definitely the main attacking contributor for the second half. It has been pretty much all Watford since the half-time break, so we need to build into it a little bit. Kenneth Powell cuts inside, going to find Seller to Chair back to Seller. Seller's going to have to hit it first time. It's a good save from Backman again. I've said it once, I've said it again. Oh, that's awful defending from the Watford man there, by the way. But we're aiming everything in that mid-height, and it's being saved pretty well. 3 last changes. Frey, Anderson, Ashby on for Seller, Chair, and Santos. 3 like-for-like changes. Again, all are stamina-based. Just sort of keeping everyone as fit as possible, because we have 2 games up against Luton coming up very, very soon. Benny plays it down into Field. Oh, it's a good block in the end from the defender there. And it does stay at 1-0. 15 or so minutes on the clock, 20 if you include added time. And it's still 1-0, and it still really is very much up for grabs this game. It's pretty open. Good tackle there from Varane. Nice and high up the pitch. We're sort of just keeping them back a little bit, but they do break the lines with that very simple pass there. It's an attempt over the top. Bayo does get there. Man, he was given so much time and space to win that. I did ask for my player, I don't know who it was, I'm assuming it was Morrison or Cook, to win that and just head it out. But neither of them, whoever it was, went for it. And it just gave Bayo a really good chance to pressure Nardi yet again. But thankfully, Nardi was equal to it. Pass it from Varane, pretty weak. I wanted it out to Benny, but it kind of just sort of went in between Benny and Anderson. So just a couple of minutes left on the clock. We'll see if we can just see this one out here. Just keep them in their half, nice and deep in their half would be perfect, in all honesty. They do play it out wide. Only 2 minutes on the clock, though. Added time is all they've got to kind of burst forward. And they're taking their time here. Bonner plays it to Andrews. They turn backwards. It's not the most beautiful win you're going to see all day, but it is a 1-0. It is 3 points, and it keeps us in that, like, pole position, keeps us in a good spot, and keeps us in some sort of form. That's what we need. We need the form, and we need it to stay, all right? But honestly, at this main point now, I'm hoping we start to see some interest from other clubs for a player or two. I'd like to try and get our business done earlier on in the window. Sooner rather than later would be preferable. But 3 points, we'll worry about the points for now. That was a really big win there. One I'm really, really happy with as well. Overall, I think we performed fantastically. And our next game is in 2 days, so not much of a break between. It is up against 5th place Luton, and we have them in the league, followed by in the cup. So we have a week's break between those games, which is really important. But for me, the league game is still the priority. That's still the main game for us to worry about here. But yeah, up in top position, 5 points clear of second place Burnley, and 6 points clear of the top team in the playoffs, which is Sheffield United, Norwich, Luton, and Leeds. That is a very strong playoff group there. But as we go down the table as well, we'll just, oh, I've pressed the wrong one. We'll go down and just look at the bottom as well, see who's kicking down at the bottom at the moment. It's still Sheffield Wednesday. They are falling behind now, 8 points from 23rd place Oxford, and 11 points from the 22nd and 21st place Bristol City and Stoke City respectively. It's still crazy to see Middlesbrough down there, and Stoke, in all honesty. Really looking at the teams that are down there, they're all not doing too bad in real life. So it's interesting to see. It's very interesting to see. But time will tell how the table will finish. It looks like Sheffield Wednesday at the moment are starting to spiral a little bit, and will look like they're going to be heading down rather than staying in the Championship this season. But time will tell. It's still early doors. There's still plenty to be done here. But we're going to just power through. We're going to get to the next situation. I'm going to just sort out these roles and stuff and emails that we got through. So we now have a ++ on on Seller on the advanced forward. So I'm going to take him off of Poacher, and I'll just get him on that plus. And then I think I'm just going to whack him on balance, get the passing up a little bit, get the dribbling just up a touch as well. Pace will slowly go up, as will the shooting a little bit. He's almost at his max, I think, for the season. I'll be honest with you, I don't see that changing too much now. But we also had an email from Jimmy. I wonder if that's an email asking to play more, because he's missed the last couple of games. Yeah, he does want to play more. Okay, I rely on you when you matter most, Jimmy, mate. I don't want to lose Jimmy Dunn. Big fan of Jimmy's, and it would be a real shame to see him go. We do have an email from Mexico. I appreciate the offer, but me no hablo Espanol. Okay, here's our team up against Luton. So Jimmy Dunn comes in for Steve Cook, and Clark Salter returns to the side, as does Sato. Varane in for Madsen. That's all sort of mainly for stamina. Obviously, it makes sense being able to give Jimmy some minutes, but also it was tired legs of Steve Cook. I've also just seen how tired Dembele is. And you know what? I think we're going to start Paul Smith. Dembele can maybe be an impact on the bench. But you can see also on the bench, we brought in Dixon Bonner and Alfie Lloyd. No Seller in today's match squad. He was pretty tired. So I think it kind of makes sense just to rest him. So that is exactly what we're doing. He is being fully rested for this game. He misses out on the entire fixture, which seems kind of crazy. Top goal scorer. I've said how important the league is. But he was at almost about 60% stamina. So it made sense for me to just not bring him, because realistically, he's going to come on and maybe do 10 or 15 minutes. I'd rather have Lloyd on there and come on and do a half if I need him to. So that's what we're going to do. Fingers crossed, boys. I wouldn't be upset seeing Lloyd come on and get some minutes, get a bit of a chance for himself. But for now, it's QPR versus Luton. Come on, you R's. Oh, Varane steps in really well, though, actually. I thought he'd just been beaten, but actually did really well to step in and win that ball. We're going to try and rotate it round here. Ilias Chair finds Frey. Frey up against Mengi, who's going to slide in but miss him. And Frey's going to keep it. I don't really want Frey out here. Frey kind of finds himself in those wide positions in real life quite often. And I found him in that position there. Didn't really have an option is the only problem. Luton with the ball out wide here. It was an early pass, but he was definitely offside there. Wasn't a great run from Adebayo, and the timing was pretty pants from the pass as well. But we'll see if we can maybe build something here. It's been really very minimal to go off of, and that's an idea of a ball there, but it's not the best idea. And you know what? It's wet surface. That ball slowed down a little bit quicker than normal. Got to bear that in mind. Doughty gets the better of Santos here. And again, the wet surface is going to help that ball stop from going off the pitch. It's a good cross in. Oh, it was a good effort from their fullback. I forget his name. I think it begins with a H. But it was well defended in the end, actually. It was our lad who got it clear. Adebayo doesn't quite win the header. Santos lays it off to Smith. And we're getting that one out of there, boys. Oh, this is another good chance here. Oh, well done. We needed to get that one away, but we are getting pegged in. I'll tell you now, Luton are proving to be a problem. We are having to really defend our little hearts out right now to stop any chances from coming in. Good block there from Dunn and Clark Salter combined to stop Nardi having to do too much. I would back Nardi. I think Nardi has been pretty phenomenal for us in this series so far, but you know, the less work I can give him, the better, I think. Oh, good work there from Sato. Nice and high up the pitch. But Luton are just getting the ball and just being really conservative with it. They're keeping it really calmly. They're being very calm and collected, and they're just being sensible. I say that, and Sato nips in and steals it. Lockyer, though, does really well there. Good to see Lockyer back on the pitch, even in a virtual setting. Just, you know, massive fair play to him. I hope he's doing all right, mate. Not that he's watching this, let's be honest. But half-time, it's 0-0, and it's been scrappy. It's been Luton. It's been them all over, really. We've offered very little. That chance there with Sato where we won the ball high at the pitch, if I could have maybe laid it off the Fray, or if Sato could have just had a slightly different touch to just try and take it towards the goal, that would have been our best chance. We've offered nothing. They've had 2 shots that were both blocked. But that's it. Not too much going on. I'll keep it real with you. Kenneth Power's pretty tired. Ashby's going to come on and do second half. And you know what? We're going to give Lloyd, we're going to give him 45 minutes. We're just going to give him a go. 55 rated. For those who haven't seen the interview with Lloyd after the goal that he scored against Sheffield Wednesday, watch it. It's pure footballing joy. It's a wonderful little interview. Of a player that clearly hasn't been PR trained yet, and I don't want him to be, because it's just the raw emotion of the positives of football. I highly recommend watching that interview if you haven't already. But yeah, let's see if he can come away with something today. be an impact off the bench. You know, he's much quicker than Frey. I think he's probably slightly quicker than Seller, if not about as quick as Seller. So just a lower rated quick lad to come on and try and cause some problems. Let's hope he does just that. Come on, you Oz. Sam Field. Oh, what is that pass, Sam? That is absolutely appalling. I'm not even sure who he's trying to pass it to. That was abysmal. Got to get involved here. Lloyd. Oh, he's closing down nice and quickly. He's forced him back to the keeper. Kaminsky having to bring that one down, and he's just going to get rid. But honestly, we are just kind of watching Luton play with the ball at the moment. We are struggling to get any possession. We do get a bit of a chance maybe here. Lloyd going to try and take it past Mengi, but Mengi does really, really well. It's, man, we're living off scraps right now. Paul Smith inside now to Chair. Chair. We see that run from Sam Field. Field's going to get it. Oh, it's not really where you want Sam Field, but if he's making a run like that, you've got to try and feed him to it. You've got to try and let him get something through there. But 20 minutes on the clock. I've got some changes that have been scheduled just for a little while. I could ideally do with those changes coming on. They're fresh legs and hopefully a bit of a change. Luton are just keeping this ball in their defensive third. Like, it is just a matter of we've got to somehow steal it off them and then hope that we make the most of the very limited possession that we have here. But Paul Smith going to try and get it in there. Mengi closes him down. Mengi's been really good. I've mentioned Mengi a good couple of times. He's won the ball off of me a good number of times. He's kept Smith and Chair very, very quiet this whole game, in all honesty. But we've got to try and get something here. Chair inside. Oh, couldn't quite turn there with Alfie Lloyd. It's unfortunate, but I don't think those changes are going to make it on the pitch. Luton with one chance to burst through here. The time is basically up. The time is up, actually. Look, come on, ref. Look at the clock. There it is. I'll be honest with you. I'd be surprised if Luton have anything less than 67, 68% possession. They just played keep ball. I couldn't get it off them. I've said it before. I'll say it again. It needs looking into with some of the ways that EA decide team setup, because it just becomes impossible to win the ball. Because as soon as you get within 2-3 yards, they play a pass, and they've always got passing options. And even if you set your team to attacking or team press or anything, you can't win the ball back. It's frustrating. It happens. It's a draw. 74% possession is what Luton had in that game. 74. Just to reiterate the frustration of I physically couldn't get the ball off them. It was quite annoying, but it is what it is. Also, the Burnley manager and the Bristol City manager, what about you? They look a bit similar. Ashby's change back to a right back is in, so he is now an out-and-out right back who can play left back, which is great news for me. Kind of just does exactly what I need it to be. I'm just going to whack him on fullback in the right back spot. Just get the defending up. Just gets the strength up a little bit as well. That's the main stuff there that I'm looking at. But again, I'm probably not going to end up keeping him. Not because I don't like the lad or I don't think he's any good, but I just don't know if he's going to be the right fit depending on what we're doing next season. I think it is going to be ever so slightly dependent on that. Anderson wants to play. I'll think about it. It is the cup, so I don't mind maybe chucking him in. We'll work it out. So it turns out I've been getting transfer offers and I've not been getting notified about them at all. I had literally no idea any of these deals were coming in. Quite frustrating, and could have ended up being pretty problematic if I had missed them. Because actually one of the players we're looking to offload in Lucas Anderson, there is an offer for. So I'm going to negotiate here with Leeds because I would like a little bit more money than the 1.45 that is on the table. So I'm going to propose a new fee and I'm going to say 1.7. I don't think they'll go to 1.7. I want them to go to 1.6. That is what I'm hoping for. They've gone for 1.7. I'm actually a wizard, boys. 1.7 mil for Anderson is phenomenal. Really good business at our end there, getting us some decent money in. And that almost alone will pay for one of our signings in. That is great news. Lloyd, do I want to loan Lloyd out to the end of the season? You know what? I didn't mean to do negotiate. I meant to do delegate. I'm just going to propose without buying. So just a loan. 2 years. I'll do it. I'll go with 2 years. That's absolutely fine with me. If you guys wouldn't mind covering a little bit more of the wages, that would be great. Fantastic. 70-30 split. Great. Lloyd, obviously, he did just play a little bit for us just then. Get him out on loan. Hopefully, he'll come back around a 60. That'll be great news for us. Ryan Coley, I'm going to reject. I'd like to keep him here at the club because I plan on playing him still a little bit rotation-wise. He's getting on. He's getting minutes, and I'm absolutely here for it. Seller is going nowhere. 3.5 mil. And that's that centre-back. Wow, okay. Or right-back, I should say. It's going to be a no. He is our top goal scorer. I don't want to see him go. Here's a question. Steve Cook, 33. He is the captain. Oh, this is controversial. I think I'm going to sell Steve Cook. This is controversial, boys. I feel like... Oh, this is controversial. This is very controversial. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna say 1.1. I'm hoping to get about a mil. Oh, okay. I goofed it. Steve Cook. I wanted him to stay anyway. Damn it. I got cocky and overconfident with the Anderson thing working first time. I should have just said a mil. I should have gone with 1 mil. That's okay. I'm not upset with Cook staying. But that could have been some good money, you know. Okay, we've gone with a fully rotated team for the Cup, apart from Kenneth Powell. And that just shows that we need a left-back, because I could rotate every position apart from Kenneth Powell. I could play Morgan Fox out there. He's just not a fullback, guys. He's not a fullback anymore. He's not got the legs in him. But it's at Kenilworth Road this time, and again, it's in the Cup. As I've said to you guys before, the Cup for me is nowhere near as much of a priority as trying to get that playoff or promotion spot. For me, that is the utmost importance. That is the priority. That is where our attention is needed. So a fully rotated squad is kind of call of the day. That's kind of, you know, I think it fits with what my ambition is and what I'm trying to achieve here. So that is it's the decision I've made, boys. Fully changed 11, apart from Kenneth Powell. Come on, who ours? Benny on the ball here. Takes it past one, potentially. Doughty, though. No mug. He's going to stay with Benny. Oh, and he does intercept the pass as well. That is disappointing. Oh, Anderson's giving that ball away. Anderson, that's poor. Oh, Anderson. That is a shocking pass. I assumed it was going straight to someone. The person who went straight to was Adebayo, who's found the back of the net. Bottom corner, right in front of the QPR fans, and it's an easy finish. That's very disappointing. That is very, very disappointing. It was straight to him. I just assumed it was going to one of my centre-backs. But, yeah, Walsh beaten. In that bottom corner. It's a good finish. It's a strong, powerful finish into that bottom corner. And just like that, boys, it is 1-0 to Luton in the Cup. Benny brings the ball forward here. Going to try and take it past his man. Lockyer, though, stands pretty tall, stands pretty strong. Just absolutely mugs him off of it. Frey does actually win it nice and out of the pitch here. Benny, though, going to try and take it past his man. He's getting closed down quite quickly, but Frey, can he play it back into Anderson? No, he can't. The pass is pretty poor. Great win. Oh, Frey, I was going to say great win there as they passed it back. It could have been a similar situation to their midfielder playing it back to a defender and the striker intercepting, but it wasn't quite as fruitful for us in that one. And it's a disappointing first half. It's been a lot of Luton just keeping the ball in the middle of the park. They've had a chance or two, the header towards straight out Walsh, and then the Adebayo goal. But honestly, outside of that, there's not really been anything for either side. 63% possession because they are just keeping the ball, boys. It is infuriating. 96% pass accuracy and just all out, let's keep the ball. Haha, you can't do anything. It is infuriating. So Paul Smith's going to come onto the right-hand side. Just fresh legs and a bit of pace down the right wing just to see if we can maybe get something up there and try and get the balls into Frey. That's the only change I'm going to make at the break, though. We'll see. We'll hope. We'll pray that we can build into it a little bit more. But work to do. Oh, Lucas Anderson wins the ball high at the pitch here. Does manage to keep hold of it. Now we're going to play it out to Paul Smith. Our first real chance to sort of do anything against this Luton back line. And it's going to be a corner. Now we do have the big man in Michael Frey to aim for here. In front of the QPR fans. Can we do anything here? Clark on for Walsh for Luton. Kenneth Powell. Whip that one in there. Get up to big old Michael Frey. Oh, it's a good defensive header, though. He is going to get it clear on that second header as well. But Paul Smith... Oh, just a simple pass, mate. Let it drop down. Play the pass, buddy. Colback, that's a great tackle here. And Frey, he's not the quickest, but he's ahead of the defender. Michael Frey, it's a lovely goal. There it is. Get it out. Go on, Michael. Do the unicorn, fella. In front of the away fans. He doesn't look impressed with the scarf, but I'll tell you now, we're loving it, boys. Big result there. Lovely goal. And it has been a bit of a smash and grab for this one here, but that's a lovely strike. It's a beautiful finish on that inside. Hits the side netting. That's beautiful. Things you love to see. Just like that, we are back in it. We are not down and out just yet. It's 1-1, about half an hour to go, and now it is all to play for, boys. Come on, you Rs. Here we go. Anderson with the ball now. Coley outside him. And he's not quite going to get the pass off that I asked for because he was tackled in between. But Kenneth Powell back to Anderson. Anderson whips it in there. Can Frey get there? He can. And it's spilled by the keeper. And Michael Frey at Kenilworth Road, yet again for QPR, becomes the man of the hour. Things you love to see. And just like that, boys, we are in the lead. I would say it's been pretty undeserved, but boys, that is a phenomenal second half display from the man himself, big old Michael. It's a lovely bit of play. Kaminsky, you could argue, could and or should do better, but Frey's done so well to get there. It's a beautiful cross from Anderson. Kaminsky probably should have came out to claim it, but he didn't, and Frey did exactly what he needed to do, which is get that big, beautiful, bold head of his on the end of it and find the back of the net. And just like that, boys, it's 2-1. Now with Luton playing this ball around the back and sort of messing around with it back here, it's not the time to do it. And could this be a hat-trick for Michael Frey? Yes, it is. He just loves Kenilworth Road. He's absolutely made it his. And just like that, Mitchy Frey makes it 3. No one saw it coming. It's a huge turnaround. What a result that is for the boys. And Michael Frey has been incredibly influential at it as well. He has been absolutely phenomenal. It's moments like this that I just love FC, man. I just love this game because realistically, in Ultimate Team, this man does absolutely nothing for you. But in career mode, Michael Frey has come out of nowhere and found a hat-trick away from home in front of the QPR fans as well. You love to see it. This might be back-to-back-to-back thumbnails for Michael Frey, by the way. Things you love to see. Made a handful of changes, by the way. Chair on for Anderson, Sato on for Coley, Dixon Bonner on for Colback, and then Heverton Santos on for Powell, with Ashby moving out to the left. Just fresh legs was my thought with about 10-15 minutes on the clock when I made the changes. It was just after the goal, basically. I thought they could come on and just maybe help us just keep fresh enough legs to see this one out. But just like that, a 2-goal cushion all of a sudden. And I think we're going to be okay in this one, boys. And he couldn't possibly get 4, could he? He couldn't possibly make it even better, could he? Michael Frey from the edge of the box! Yes, Michael! It's... It's absolutely things you can't just... Oh, I can't. I'm lost for words. I am lost for words. Michael Frey, take a bow, fella. There's no way this goes in. Expected goal, 0.00. I cannot believe it. I simply cannot believe it. Michael Frey at Kenilworth Road is just a different beast, boys. He's a creature unto himself. Unbelievable. Michael Frey, take a bow and get on the thumbnail, mate, where you belong, fella. I physically don't think words can describe what Michael Frey just did. I am at the absolute loss for words right now. I am blown away by what I've just seen. Also, I just saw here, victory for Arsenal over... That looks like me, no? Is that not... Am I not the manager then? I'm baffled. But plenty of emails and stuff to get through. Dixon Bonner and Benny with both of their positions or whatever's roles being done. Deep line playmaker here for CDM. Now, it's kind of annoying because it doesn't actually register that Dixon Bonner can play CDM. So I'm actually going to train him to be CDM. It's going to take 30 weeks. But that's where he plays. I play a 4-2-3-1 with 2 CDMs and then the creative attacking role. So I'm going to have to do that. It's annoying because actually it's going to slightly stunt the growth for him a little bit, but it's what I've got to do. And then Benny, I think, yeah, winger plus now, which is ludicrous that he's a plus already, but that's fine. I just want to get his passing up just a little bit here. So, you know what? I'll whack him on balance, get the shooting, passing, get it all up. Let's just keep progressing, Benny, mate. I think there's a big future for Daniel Benny in the game. I just don't think we've seen the best of him yet. So time will tell. I've got some unread emails here as well that are conversations. I know you're not the first player, mate, but Morgan, buddy, I'm afraid you just don't get minutes, fella. And you're welcome. Keep your feet on the ground, though, because, oh, he's got complacent. Oh, Lucas. You're off to Leeds, mate. I don't care. It has happened. The deal is done. Lucas Anderson to Leeds confirmed. There we land, we shall say. 1.7 mil, which I think has got to be decent money. It is sad to see Lucas go. I do think it's the right play. I do think it's the right move. It frees up some money for us to strengthen a pretty weak position in the squad. And in my opinion, I think that is the right way to go about it. I'd be surprised if this is any less than a B. I think it should be an A personally. You know, it is a B. Okay, they think I could have got more than 1.7. I mean, with how quickly they accepted the deal, maybe. I don't think I'd have got 2 mil for him though, but I think Anderson leaving, it's the right time. I think it's a good choice. I think it's a good play for us. We get 1.2 of that and we are going to go and spend it. So I've thought long and hard about this and I've spent the time to really work out what I think the right play is between, as I kind of said, going for Small or going for Thomas. Now, Small was a suggestion that I came up with. Thomas is a suggestion that I was given by you guys. So I'm going to go with Thomas because I think the right decision is this being our save together and you guys having an impact and an input in who we pick up. So I'm going to try and go in for Thomas. I am going to try and get him for a little bit less than the 2.5 that they are asking for. I am going to undercut with my first offer. This is kind of how I do a lot of my negotiating in the career modes. I undercut massively, slightly annoy the away manager or the opposing manager and try and get a bit of a bargain here. So we're going to try and upset Cooper a little bit. But if he walks away, I will wait until next time to try and go in for Thomas. I'm going to go in for 1.5. I'm expecting a sell-on fee, 10% and 1.8. I'm going to say, get rid of your sell-on fee, mate. And we're going to go 1.7. Okay, I'm gonna keep lowballing because I think it's the smartest way. They will eventually meet your sort of area, and just like that, look, 1.75, that is right on the lower end of the market value that he was predicted to be at. We're going to accept 1.75 because I think that is a really good bit of business. Very happy with that indeed. Now, wages, he is on £26,000 currently. If we have a little gander at our players, we're going to have a look at the squad. I went to the wrong section. Please don't judge me. I'm still learning the manager career mode menus. We're going to have a little look at our highest paid player, which is £15,000 a week. Ideally, I need him to agree to less than that. It's not going to happen. He is going to become our newest high paid player, but I don't want him to be on over 20 grand a week. That is my hope here. So I'm going to offer him a pretty hefty signing on fee to try and lower the weekly wages. Hopefully he tells me what he wants. He wants a 5-year contract. Go on, mate. He sees the big picture. He sees the project here. I'm here for it, fella. He's not going to tell me. That's frustrating. Okay. I'm going to offer him 15 grand a week. It's a big wage cut. But I'm going to offer him 200 grand outright. Is it stupid? Maybe. Am I going to try it though? Yes, I am going to try it. Yes, big wage cut. I think the big hefty signing on fee was a big part of it. I was going to do 150, but I second guessed myself. Realistically, I saved about £500,000. Just over £500,000 in what they were asking for originally. So I'm happy to have spent 200 grand extra there just to make sure the wages were lowered and it's within a sensible range of what the rest of the squad is on. But in comes our first signing, Luke Thomas coming in, introduced by Ilias Chair, things you love to see. And yeah, very, very happy. I'd still like to see some new different cutscenes. Yeah, you've had these cutscenes for a little while now. It'll be nice to have some new ones coming out, I'll be honest with you. But Luke Thomas comes in, some great depth, some great addition to this left-hand side of our squad. It allows us to free up Kenneth Power every now and again and rotate a little bit. And he comes in as the new number 2. It's Luke Thomas joining at QPR. And I am very, very happy with that indeed. Great new signing. Welcome to the squad, Luke. I think he's going to be a big player for us. we'll see what rating this signing gets. I think it's got to be an A personally. It is an A. Things you love to see. What's the cheapest I could have gotten for? 1.7. So we pretty much smashed that. I'll be honest with you. Very, very happy with that indeed. And he goes straight into the club. And that's pretty much what I mean, it's exactly what we sold Anderson for. Obviously, we spent a little bit extra because we only got the 1.2 for Anderson is what we actually got back for him. But overall, really happy with that signing. He's going to come straight in here on the bench for now. We will bring him into the squad and rotate him with Kenneth Powell eventually. But he is 4 years younger than Kenneth Powell. And stats-wise, he's better at defending. And that is it. Kenneth Powell is better at everything else. But we haven't had anything attributed to Thomas just yet. Wing back. Okay, so I'll get him set for wing back. That's going to be the play here. So let's get him ready and learning the wing back role. Get those skill moves up just a little bit. Also just gets the defending and a couple of other bits up as well. So really happy with that. I think Thomas is going to be a really good signing. Thank you again to those who suggested him. But we are going to end the episode on that note with that signing. One player out, one player in. I'm really, really happy with those. I think it's a real good bit of dealing, good bit of work, in all honesty. I think Anderson going out, 30 years old, and being replaced with a defensive player who, 23, plenty of time ahead of him, wanted a big long-term deal, accepted a big cut as well on the wages. I'm very, very happy with that indeed. If you guys want to see more of these, let me know by hitting that like button. Helps me, the video, the channel, the series out a whole bunch. If you're new, hit the sub button and turn notifications on to be told anytime that we upload a video. But that's it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Tom. You guys have been awesome. And I'll see you soon. Look after yourselves. And of course, wash your hands. Take care.